listening to People Fixing the World from the BBC World Service. Now, we've been hearing about some solutions that are helping keep food and medicines cool in places with refrigeration challenges. And I've got Craig here with me in studio. And Craig, our next solution is one that we've actually looked at before.
Yeah, that's right. So back in 2018, Tom Coles went to Cardiff in the UK to see a life-saving fridge.
My name's Ian Tansley. I'm the Chief Technical Officer of the SureChill company.
Obviously, Ian isn't a life-saving fridge, but he is its inventor. And to understand why the fridge is so clever, you first have to understand the strange scientific fact on which it's based.
The principle of operation of the SureChill technology is rather like a frozen lake. You'll see that the top of the lake will be frozen and people can ice skate on top of the lake. But underneath that, there's liquid water. And the reason for that is because water is heaviest at 4 degrees centigrade. So anything that's warmer than 4 degrees rises, anything that's colder than 4 degrees also rises. It's only water that does this. It's an odd property of water. It's the anomalous property of water.
As it happens, 4 degrees centigrade, or Celsius, is also the perfect temperature for the inside of a fridge. Ian's fridge design is so simple it's barely believable. You freeze a block of ice at the top and fill the well-insulated walls of the fridge with water. Water at 4 degrees sinks, and water at every other temperature rises, so any water that is warmer than 4 degrees rises to the top where it's cooled by the ice and then sinks again.
Ian's clever fridge design is able to keep stuff cool for days without power. When Tom met Ian, he'd already started putting his technology to use to protect vaccines around the world. I called him up to see how he'd been getting on.
We've been continuing to sell our vaccine fridges all over the world. We now sold into over 60 countries and over 20,000 fridges all churning away, all doing their thing and protecting vaccines as they do.
And how many vaccines have you saved until date?
I haven't done the calculation since December last year, but at that time it was over 70 million doses of vaccines that have been protected. And actually, a lot of those vaccines would have gone high in temperature during that time.
As well as saving all those vaccine doses, Ian has recently started putting his fridges to use to solve a different problem, helping shopkeepers to keep the stuff they're selling cool and hopefully therefore make more money. We asked our reporter in Kenya, Daniel Ominde, to go to a village near the town of Malindi to see it in action.
So this is a typically, poor village in rural Kenya, no access to electricity, no access to water. Yeah, and this is the kind of environment where Harrison has a shop. Most people in rural Kenya live from hand to mouth. Every day they have to go into the nearest shop and buy, unga. Unga is maize flour, which they use for making ugali, which is basically cornbread, which is a staple food here. Let's just go in a bit and talk to Harrison.
My name is Harrison Ngala Chimaga, and I'm a businessman.
Harrison is a young, enterprising guy. He uses his motorbike to carry passengers. He runs a small maize mill and a grocery shop.
In the shop, I sell maize flour, soda, and consumables like soap. I also sell fruits and vegetables.
I can see you using a refrigerator. Would you allow us to see what's inside here right now?
Yes.
I could see some milk, some soda, there's water, and I think it really sells here because of the way this place gets hot. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, you can close this now. There is no electric grid in the village, so Harrison uses solar panels to light his shop. The solar company told him about the fridge and he decided to try it out.
When the sunlight hits the solar panels, the refrigerator starts running. When they brought the fridge here, they poured some water inside it, using this part here. When it starts running, the water freezes during the day and keeps whatever is inside cold. Even though the fridge does not run at night, that water stays cold and continues to cool whatever is inside through the night.
Harrison has been renting the fridge since 2020. He pays 155 shillings a day for it using a popular mobile phone payment application. That's about $1.3 US. He thinks he makes an extra $5 in sales every day.
thanks to the fresh produce.
Vegetables only take 2 days before they go bad. That would be so much losses. With this fridge, I can keep them fresh for up to 30 days without getting spoiled, depending on the kind of vegetable.
Craig, this sounds like one of those great win-win situations. I mean, by renting the fridges, it's like these small businesses can make more money. And also, of course, there's less food waste and they're using solar, which is, of course, great for the environment.
Yeah, and the business model here means it should be available for more people. They rent the fridge and they pay it back over time. So Harrison, for example, hopes to own his fridge after making payments for roughly 2 years or so.
But Craig, that daily cost, I mean, this is not the kind of solution you'd be looking at if you're trying to get a fridge for your home, for example.
Yeah, probably not, Myra. So SureChill are just scaling this up at the moment, but there are loads of other companies doing a similar thing, providing cold storage for farmers and shopkeepers. Okay. So, for example, you've got cold hubs in Nigeria, and you've also got a company called SureChill in Tanzania and Zambia. So the cold chain is spreading out all across the world.
Right. And I mean, these might just be solutions that we will look at later. But Craig, thank you for what we've heard today.
Thanks, Myra. Good to be here.